Hi, this is Susanna from Moral Fairground, and today I'm going to be talking to Grace O'Hara, who's the co-founder of Small Fires. Now, Small Fires was the winner of the 2020 Early Ethical Entrepreneur Pitch Competition. It is always such a mouthful, that title, but that's how we describe it. Describe a little bit about Small Fires.
Yeah, sure. So we started as a social enterprise publishing house, creating authentic children's stories about what it's like to grow up in different countries with storytellers that were of that culture. But as a butterfly effect from the pitch competition, which we'll go into in a little bit, we're now expanding to be a broader celebration of learning about difference and learning differently. And so we're currently in the process of relaunching as a maker of not only books, but toys and games that celebrate our diversity and that are all sustainable and ethically made as well.
This is fantastic. From when you started last year in the pitch and, to what you're telling me now, it's such a journey. So tell us why you decided to enter the pitch last year. What sort of drove you to say, I'm ready now to enter this pitch competition? Or maybe you were not ready to enter. What is it that drove you to enter?
Yeah, it's a good question because on the one hand, I'm still not sure why I entered because I hate, probably like most people, I hate public speaking. It's just something I try and avoid. But as a small business owner or someone trying to make change in the world, I think it's so important to take every opportunity you can to share your story and to kind of connect with other like-minded people in the space. It can be quite daunting and isolating trying to do things differently. And when you're amongst other people and can learn from them, it's a really great opportunity. So I tried to take every chance I could to make that happen. And when I got accepted, I was like, oh my gosh, okay, I need to brush up on my public speaking skills now.
Yeah, like you said, it's very important to tell your story, especially you guys that are in the story business. So tell me, you entered your competition, you did your pitch, you won. Was there any pleasant surprises from there? Did you learn anything from any of the prize donors in particular, or did you meet anyone that was valuable to you and your ideas?
There's so many. Aside from winning and getting all of the valuable mentoring experiences from such different minds. So for example, we've been chatting a lot with a team of researchers from RMIT, and just the way that they think about social change and come from a very research background has been very eye-opening and has led to some really interesting conversations. And then the financial help, the marketing help, it's been incredible just to have so many different minds dedicated to unpacking what you're working on. Another thing from way back then, we also happened to be running our crowdfunding campaign, which was not planned, but happened during the pitch competition. And that made a massive impact in getting us over the line. The donations from the day kind of did like a spike, which was really cool. And it helped us connect with so many people who wouldn't have heard our story otherwise. And then finally, as I alluded to earlier, we made some really great connections. So one of the people who listened on the day ended up reaching out and is now helping us as a volunteer and helping us develop workshops that we might be running with schools post-pandemic when we're allowed to. We've made really good friends with Priyanka, who was one of the other founders on the day who spoke from the Creative Cooperative, and we've maintained a really great relationship. And then perhaps the best outcome was another audience member who ran a small business making toys and games, reached out, and when we were looking for a co-founder, expressed interest in joining us. So we found a co-founder and have kind of completely shifted from just books to books, games and toys now. So that was very surprising, but has been absolutely amazing.
It's great. And one of the things that I hear all the time, and every year that we interview the different winners, is that they're sort of starting a path. And at times, Jen, not that you get drawn into another one, but then you get open up to all these different other opportunities that perhaps you didn't see when you first apply. So it's great to see, the co-founder that you now have, the direction that you're now going, and who knows where that's going to lead. I know before you were holding up a book. Do you want to show me so everyone can see that was your first one?
This is our first book.
It's fantastic.
This wasn't real this time last year, so it's still a bit unreal being able to hold a physical thing and say, we made this happen. But yes, it's available now if you want to buy it too.
That's great. Yes, we'll make sure that we'll send people there. So tell us, obviously entering a pitch can be quite daunting. Have you got any, maybe 1 or 2 tips, for someone that's planning, either in the application form or in the pitching process?
Yeah, definitely. I was trying to think of some. I think I've got maybe 3. I've spoken a lot about sharing your story, and I think it's so important to speak from the heart and let the passion for what you're doing come through. You can talk about stats and things a lot and talk about problems, but I think people are really drawn to humans trying to do things that they're passionate about. So I would definitely recommend that. Second would be to find as much validation as you can in advance, like test it with people that you know, test it with people you don't know, and be able to show that you're actually solving a problem that people experience. And the last one would be to show rather than tell as much as you can. So we had a lot of illustrations we'd done. We had a lot of mock-ups that we could really show what we were trying to do in action and show what that would look like before it was made. And I think that was really powerful as well, being able to visualize the change and being able to visualize what you're doing.
Fantastic tips. Now, before I let you go, why would you recommend anyone that's got a business idea, even if it's not fully developed, to apply for a pitch competition? Not just our pitch competition, but for a pitch competition. Yeah.
It's really important to meet other people, to test your idea, to be amongst like-minded people. The connections you can make through this can literally, like you say, change your life or change your direction in ways that you haven't imagined before. And that's just the power of collaboration. But for this one in particular, it's a really safe and welcoming environment. Everyone was so supportive. The audience was great, the judges were great, and the presenters were great. So I've really made some fantastic connections that I'll have for a long, long time.
Thank you so much. It was lovely to speak to you again. We might see you at the conference, you or your co-founder, and we'll hear more of you then. Thank you so much. Bye.